George Eustice, I'm the farming minister, and I spent 10 years working in the farming industry. We had a soft fruit business and also a herd of lop-eared pigs and South Devon cattle. Well, I think many of the challenges are actually quite similar, because the biggest obstacle that people have getting into farming is that it's a very capital intensive business. Getting all of the equipment, and it's become ever more expensive to get the right machinery to farm today. And also land prices are at record highs. So I think the biggest obstacle to getting into farming is probably capital and access to capital. That was the same then and it's the same now, but I'm keen that we can explore ways of getting access to the industry for people who maybe haven't inherited a farm, either through share options or share farming agreements, for instance. I think it's incredibly important that we get new entrants to the farming industry. Every industry needs fresh talent bringing fresh thinking. Farming's no exception, and I'm really keen that we look at ways of creating new routes for the bright young people at colleges today to get into farming, whether it's contract farming, share farming agreements, or even just simple things like profit sharing, so that they can earn a stake in the farm businesses that they join. Well, I don't know exactly how many jobs there are, but what I would say is the British food industry is the biggest manufacturing industry that we've got in this country. It employs around 4 million people. Farming employs around 400,000 people. So there's a lot of jobs out there and a lot of opportunities. And I think farming has got a bright future. We've got a growing world population. We've got increasing consumer interest in where their food comes from and people wanting to buy food locally. So I actually think it's a very exciting time for the farming industry. And our biggest challenge is attracting the talent that we need to see the industry go forward in the future. Well, there have been a couple of schemes that have been tried, one in Wales and also one in Cornwall, to specific financial schemes for new entrants. And in Wales, they've got a new entrant scheme where they've piloted the idea of giving soft loans to new entrants. I think the experience has been mixed, and it's quite an expensive way actually to run a policy of that sort. But there are other things that the government's done to encourage more lending. There is the funding for lending, which helps to encourage banks to be more willing to lend money. So there's a number of schemes, that, not specific to agriculture, but more generally, that the government has already brought forward to try to encourage those banks to lend.